I hear you.
So, after the death of Scrappy, I sit in a position where I'm intrigued to see what Rock's next move is. She's a character who's always treading on thin ice with all her relationships, even though she made a point where they need to stick together. In episode 1, we saw her giving this speech to the family and saying how there's nothing more important than blood. And although I somewhat agree, behind the scenes, Rock's choices and actions beg to differ. Blood also doesn't make you family, loyalty does. And Rock is someone who showed us through her actions, loyalty is dead, especially when she killed Scrappy. So she wants to cover up Scrappy's death with yet another lie. And then there's also Detective Howard, who wants to expose Rock's lies, but can he reveal more than just him being Kanan's father? So in this video, we're gonna run through the synopsis, exclusive images, and teasers, and run through a preview of all things episode 3. So if any of this sounds like spoilers, this video may not be the one for you. But with that being said, the episode title is called Sleeping Dogs, and the synopsis reads: a surprise encounter with Howard leaves Kanan speechless. Rock tries to settle in a new territory, but while investigating a missing business associate along with her money, she comes face to face with an old adversary. Now I think there's only one place to start, and that's with the encounter between Howard and Kanan, because it really has been a long time coming, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's hoping this secret is finally revealed. I want to see the reaction of Kanan, and I want to see the reaction of Rock when she realizes Howard's told Kanan the truth, and I'm sure she'll stick to her story that Howard's brain is all twisted. But I think Kanan's starting to have doubts, and I'm sure we can also say the doubts started in season 1. So the more she lies, the more she pushes Kanan away, and it makes you think about all the lies and manipulation from D-Wiz. Did Rock have High Post killed? Did she send Marvin away? Did she have anything to do with Duke's mom leaving back in the day? And most importantly, how much does Detective Howard truly know? And what else could he tell Kanan? Detective Howard and Rock go way back, and so I think he's someone who holds a lot of information on Rock. And when he talks to Kanan, him being his father may not be the only thing he reveals. So this is why I'm looking forward to this conversation. Howard can really put more cracks in the relationship between Rock and Kanan, if he wants to, that is, but who knows if he will, and who knows if Kanan believes him. But sticking with Kanan and bringing it to Famous, we're gonna see Kanan bringing Famous into the game. And in episodes 1 and 2, I do have to say, they've laid the foundation for Famous to enter the streets, but whether he's ready for the game or not is a different question.
Famous ain't built for this shit anyway. This is the shit D-Wiz was always down for.
No doubt.
But regardless of whether he's ready or not, Jessica and Lou made reference to how he spends more time smoking weed rather than writing lyrics, and Lou doesn't have time for someone who's not putting the effort in. But not only has Lou dropped him, we saw his mom kick him out the house, and now he's on the street with no manager because Jessica left to pursue her own career in LA. So what does he do from here? Now this image shows Famous hanging with Kanan, and we all know he tried selling his mixtapes, but nobody's interested. And now we're gonna see Kanan and Famous take it one step further, but before they do, Crown will come round. And even though we've seen Famous not having a good relationship with Lou, maybe Crown might give him a second chance instead, which contributes towards this ongoing disagreements that he has with Lou. But is Famous ready for the game? I think this was the shit that D-Wiz was always down for, but Famous has started to really go down a dark path, and with his best friend being the son of Southside's Queenpin, I think we all know what's next. And very similar to how we saw Tariq in Power and Power Book 2 Ghost, with those close to him ending up dead, could we see the same for Kanan with Famous, those close to him ending up dead or in jail? Because there are a lot of similarities between a young Kanan and a young Tariq, which is why he probably took a liking to him in Power. He probably saw a lot of himself in a young Tariq. But with Famous, is this just setting up his death at some point in season 2? We all know Kanan named his son Sean, and Famous's actual name is also Sean, which isn't a coincidence. Something big will happen with Famous. If it's not in season 2, it'll be in season 3 or 4. But moving away from Kanan, let's have a look at Rock's troubles, because where she had all her focus on Detective Howard and the snitch in episode 2, she took one eye off Unique. So she's gonna find her associate and money missing. Now I can only assume Juliana is the associate, and with Rock's money being taken, most of our eyes are on Unique. But could Juliana have done a runner with Rock's money instead? Now I wouldn't have thought so, because she knows what Rock is capable of, and she's also doing business with her cousin, Joaquin. Now Unique's girlfriend told him that she saw Rock at the bodega, so one can only assume that it was Unique, but we all know how Power love to throw us a curveball now and then, so let's wait and see. But it does seem like we'll see Rock going into Unique's place of business, locked and loaded, and with Marvin having a gun to Worrell, it does make me ask the question, why is a gun being pointed in Worrell's direction if he's already flipped over to Rock's side? And I made a point of how he reminds me of Dre, and he was someone who always flipped sides to those who were in power at different moments, and Worrell seems like he's the same. He'll do whatever's best for himself until he eventually gets into a position of power himself. But I also made the case how he could also be a snitch. But either way, Worrell is one person we need to keep a close eye on. But even though Rock's got issues with Detective Howard, her stash being taken, and Unique, she's still expanding, and with the synopsis telling us she's moving into a new territory, one can only imagine she's finally making the move into the Italian Mafia's territory. So matching this up with some of the scenes we've seen in the season trailer, we hear Marvin tell Rock they don't know the players in Jersey, and them Italians don't play. But Rock's response is, they know the game. So is this a moment we'll get introduced to Salbacelli and the Italian Mafia? If it's not in episode 3, then it definitely will be in 4. Now, I've already been through this exclusive clip in this video, but with Renee being shown in one of these exclusive images, I assume we're gonna see Marvin back in the anger management therapy. Now of course, it's a part of the term set by the court, so he can't miss a session, but after the conversation he had with Lou, and realizing how much he fucked up, could we actually see him open up for the first time? Because the more he does, the more he has a chance to reconnect with Duke, and it really does seem like Marvin has started to listen during his anger management therapy. The clip I played at the beginning was Marvin getting shit from one of the residents at the projects, but instead of getting pissed off, it seems like he's taken the advice of Renee and her breathing exercises. But one thing we need to keep in mind is Marvin's got so many layers in season 2, and I'm sure there will come a time where we'll see Marvin unleash. And on Jukebox, we're gonna see her back in the studio, and possibly as a rival to Ziza. We see Lou and Duke in conversation, and it doesn't look like a nice one. And with the introduction of Ziza, I questioned whether we could actually see Lou neglect Duke. So that's a relationship to keep an eye on, and how Ziza fits in. But one person who we know Lou doesn't get on with is Crown. He was sleeping with Jessica. He was also responsible for her moving to LA, and they also had a disagreement with the deal that Lou made with Cartier. And there's definitely going to be more, along with a disagreement with Rock. Now we all know Rock has never been a big fan of Lou spending so much time with his label, especially because he ain't making any money, and no doubt that's what's going down in this conversation. But interestingly, Rock seems to have met Cartier, and I want to make reference to a video I made in the week. It was on Rock's endgame and her plans for this expensive property either in Forest Hills, Douglaston or Little Neck. Could Cartier provide her with a little side hustle of a business venture where she could possibly clean her money? So could Cartier and Rock be a business partnership in the making? And that's a breakdown of the exclusive clips and images that we got during the week and a preview of episode 3. So let me know what you make of the exclusive images, along with Howard finally speaking to Kanan. Drop all your thoughts and comments down below, and of course if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.